Hi everyone, John Weber in the Low Country. Down here in Bluffton today, thought I would do a nice video about walking up Calhoun Street and touching on some of the historical points of Bluffton, South Carolina. If you are interested in that, please subscribe, keep watching. This is the only show that's going to talk to you about the lifestyle and the culture of the Low Country, Low Country Connect. This week's video is about Bluffton, South Carolina. It's Discover Bluffton. And what we're going to do is we're starting down here on the bluff, overlooking the May River, and we're going to work our way up to Old Town Bluffton and the promenade. That's where we'll end up, and we'll walk along Calhoun Street, look at some of the art galleries, things like that, and you'll get a real good idea what it's like down here. So I thought I'd just go over a little bit of history. In 1715, the Yamasee Indians actually inhabited this area, and there's about 1,200 of them. And then they got into a big war and everybody moved to Florida and they left. In 1844, the farmers in this area were really irritated about the tariffs that were imposed upon them. And what they did is they met and started what they called the Bluffton Movement. You can check that out. The Bluffton Movement, they met under a big oak tree called the Secession Oak, which is no longer here. But 16 years later, South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union. So it all started right here in Bluffton, actually. In 1863, the Union troops knew that the Confederates were right here in Bluffton, and they had taken over Hilton Head. And what they did was they basically just invaded this entire area. There were about 60 structures here, and they burned everything down except 2 churches and about 15 buildings left. They burned most of Bluffton down because they knew the Confederates were here. Enough about that, and let's move on to another location. So I'm right here in this new area, a beautiful park next to the Church of the Cross, and this is a dock area where back in the day steamboats would come up here from Charleston and Beaufort. They would stop here in Bluffton and then they would continue on to Savannah. This was a big stopping point for the steamboats. Behind me is the Church of the Cross, one of the very few buildings, one of 2 buildings that was not burned down by the Union troops. Actually, this is our church right here. It's really a great church. There's another campus with other churches that are part of the Church of the Cross. They also have Church of the Cross schools. But every year at Easter on this bluff, they have about 300 or 400 people at 6 o'clock in the morning for Easter service on this bluff overlooking the May River. It's really cool. I'm halfway down Calhoun Street, and I'm in front of some of these artesian galleries which really line the street and other streets. Very colorful, low country art, really makes it quite unique. You can ride a golf cart around Bluffton proper, the town of Bluffton. And what's happened is that with the growth of Hilton Head spilling over onto the mainland, Moss Creek right at the gate there was developed in 1973. Rose Hill was also developed around that time, and from that time on, everything started expanding to the mainland. Now you've got Bluffton, Old Town, Promenade, growing like crazy with all these communities. There's probably 25 golf courses, maybe 50 communities, gated communities, and it's unique because you're on the mainland and you have access to the island that's been voted the most popular island in the continental United States with great beaches. So it's a very unique situation. So right here, once again, voted #1 gallery in Bluffton. Very popular right here, called Pluff Mud. Here's the sign, Pluff Mud. You might be wondering what's Pluff Mud. It's the mud when the tide goes out with the marsh, and you've got this deep dark mud that makes popping sounds, and it's birds come in, and and eat, and the water, it's tidal, the salt water coming in and out, and it's pretty cool, and that's Pluff Mud. And they say when Pluff Mud gets in your soul, you'll never leave. I am ending in the promenade in Old Town Bluffton. Started down on the May River, worked my way up. That's Captain Woody's right there. And to my left, over here's the Bluffton room. But we're going out to dinner tonight at Farm, which is just a great spot also. You've got Bluffton room, Farm, the Pearl down the street a little bit. We passed that. But this is really, just about every single client that comes to this area comes to Bluffton, and they just go, this is the cutest little town. And 15 years ago, maybe there was 3 or 4 buildings here. They've just created this really neat environment connected to the galleries and everything else, and it makes it for a very unique area. And it's all the growth is headed west, and probably one day it'll be out there by the interstate. But for now, Bluffton is really cool. It's a great area. It's growing. Come see us at the John Weber team. I'm a licensed real estate broker with Charter One Realty. We'll take good care of you. We are buyers agents in a situation where you would contact us. We have licensed professionals, inspectors, attorneys, all kinds of people to help you. I put together a team of really great people to help our clients move down to the Lowcountry. So come see us. John Weber signing off, headed to the farm, might have an adult beverage, nice dinner. Come see us.